It's the Hound Dog reporting to you on the 2nd of March 2017, and it's a pretty chilly evening out there. It's a cold -10 as I came back from the town hall meeting. Anyway, this little video is going to be a bit of a rant, I suspect, about Kathleen Wynne. Kathleen Wynne, do I detect a hint of desperation with a 25% hydro reduction? Do I sense that the realization has dawned upon you and your party that every month I and every other Ontarian with a hydro bill open their bill and see your face as the person who has screwed up hydro and put up hydro bills? I mean, we're leaping from crisis to crisis, from the Oakville power plants. Kathleen Wynne, do you realize what we could have done in this province with $1 billion? The infrastructure problems that we have right now in the province, $1 billion could have filled many, many potholes and rebuilt many, many bridges. And so I don't know whether you're really understanding that all of us in Ontario who are receiving hydro bills, we've all got the picture. And the picture is, you're crazy, your government is crazy, and hydro is crazy. Let me give you a little example. I'm just not whistling Dixie here. This was an insert in my most recent bill, and I think that you will see immediately the schizophrenic nature of the government and hydro. So delivery rates are changing. Hydro One delivers electricity safely and reliably to homes and businesses in Ontario. Recently, the Ontario Energy Board, the OEB, approved new delivery rates for Hydro One customers. The new delivery rates will apply to your usage starting on January 1st, 2017. A typical general service energy bill customer using 2,000 kilowatt hours a month will see an increase on the total statement of 0.23 cents per month. Why are delivery rates increasing? We're working to keep our costs down and keep any increase on our portion of the statement to what is required to ensure that electricity is delivered to our customers when and where they need it. We recognize that the need to strike the right balance between service and cost whilst minimizing the impacts on rates. We need this increase to replace and maintain equipment nearing its end of life or damaged by storms. Well, you know, I'm going to have to question that right off the bat, because you have a mass of accountants, planners, engineers. You're telling me that nobody set aside a little cashola for future replacement of infrastructure? You're telling me that? Because I don't think so. Build or upgrade our stations, transformers, lines and poles to meet customer growth. Well, that falls into Area 1. You knew this growth was taking place. Surely you planned for that. Tell me you've planned for that. Ensure reliability by doing more vegetation management work. Well, you know, you've always been doing this kind of work. I don't think it's increased at all. From what I see, the lines run where they do, and those corridors are kept open periodically by forestry guys going round and trimming the trees. So, okay, so we've just had the increases. Why are your rates increasing? Other changes to your statement. Whoa, 8% provincial rebate. The Ontario government will rebate an amount equal to the provincial portion of the HST from electricity statements as of January the 1st, 2017. This 8% rebate will provide electricity rates relief for residential households, farms and many small businesses. If you're eligible for this rebate, you'll start seeing it on statements covering electricity use as of January the 1st, 2017. So we've just had delivery rates increasing. We've got now relief on delivery rates. What's the next item? Regulatory charges line on your statement is increasing. Up again. The rural or remote electricity rebate to protection charge included under the regulatory charges line on your statement is increasing. The OEB has increased this charge to 21 cents per kilowatt hour from 13 cents. Wow, that's almost double. All customers in the province pay this charge, which provides additional relief for residential customers located in rural or remote areas. So then we have this little piece here which divides everything up and shows you where your bill is being spent. Well, if you're not completely confused by now with your hydro bill as to where it is going, and you see, you've got to remember, Kathleen, we all know that every time you do one of these changes, paperwork has to pass hands from one department to another, and this is costing us a small fortune. So I know this is going to sound counterintuitive, but hydro should be selling hydro to its customers at cost. Okay, Adam Beck, when hydro became a corporation, Adam Beck put forward the mandate, or the mission statement, I guess it is, that unlimited hydro to Ontarians at cost. And when Mike Harris divided hydro into three divisions of Hydro One Services, and OPG, Ontario Provincial Generation, the mission statement changed, and that the mission statement now reads unlimited cost-effective hydro to Ontarians. And there's a big difference between at cost and cost-effective. So I know this is counterintuitive, but if you reduced hydro rates to cost, then you would increase the number of industries and businesses that would come to this province, that would thrive in this province. In my small village alone, okay, I happen to know the owner and operator of the Foodland. It's a smallish size Foodland. We're a village here, so I guess it runs around about I don't know, 8,000 square feet, maybe 10,000 square feet. The hydro cost per month is $11,000. The Manvers Arena, $11,000 a month for hydro alone. And the raw cost of hydro, $2,000. That's a $9,000 markup in regulatory charges. And the line loss item, which is now taken off your bill, you look for line loss, you're not going to see any representation of line loss. I'm going to put below my little video that I did on hydro accounting fraud. So not only is this company overcharging, grossly overcharging for its product. The raw cost of hydro, OPG, out the door, $5 per megawatt hour. Charge to the customer from hydro, $50 a megawatt hour. That's a pretty steep markup. So basically you are strangling the province, you are strangling industry in the province, you are strangling growth in the province, you are putting businesses under extreme stress. Now, I don't know whether you've thought about this, but for every increase in hydro, the average consumer pays 5 times that increase, because whatever you want to do, whether you want to buy groceries, whether you want to buy clothes, whether you want to buy food, it doesn't matter. There are about 5 people in that process, and each one of those has to reclaim the increased cost of hydro. So the guy who delivers the groceries to the supermarket has to get his slice, so there's an increase there. The supermarket has to get its increase. The producer has to get their increase. Everyone has got to take their slice out of this. So when you're the end consumer, you've paid about 5 times the hydro increase on your own bill. So this is just devastating. Yeah, I have a friend with a restaurant. It's only a small restaurant, $700 a month in hydro costs. $700 a month. And of course, the big issue here is, Kathleen Wynne, you want to sell hydro. You are selling hydro. You know what? That is a referendum issue for Ontario. That is a direct democracy issue for Ontario. This is a public asset that you are selling. Nobody gave you permission to sell that public asset. Nobody gave you permission to sell that public asset. What are you doing selling off our public assets without even consulting the public? After blowing $1 billion in Oakville. This just doesn't add up, and you, all of you, are living in such a bubble. You're insulated by your income from the frugalities and the ravages that are being wrested on your population. And shame, shame, shame on you. Shame on you for ignoring the people in the direst of situations who invested their lives in this province. Kathleen Wynne, are you paying attention? Are you listening to what I'm saying here? I'm talking about retirees who have worked their entire life making this province what it is today, now being decimated by hydro costs. So either you rescind the sale of a public asset and start selling hydro at cost, and taking that chance that if you lower energy costs, that in the end, even though you think that you're going to make some kind of big gain by selling off hydro, you will gain more money. Right now what you're doing is you're killing the goose that lays the golden egg. Okay? This goose, you need to nurture this goose so that we continue getting golden eggs in the province of Ontario. And that is why you need to be pretty worried about the next election coming up. I see the NDP are really jumping on this, and so are the Conservatives. I think you've blown the trust factor, really. When we get into all of the hydro stuff, the blaming of those two civil servants who were just following orders, when we're talking about the bribery up in Sudbury, and with because you wanted to get a person to step out of the race, how can we possibly trust you? You know, you're just not getting this. You are just not getting this. We live in the real world down here. We're in the real world, sweetheart. And you're in La La Land. And when you realize where you came from, then maybe you'll be fit to govern. But right now, many, many, many Ontarians are questioning your fitness to govern this province in the best interest of its citizens. Take that as fair warning. Kathleen Wynne. This is the Hound Dog signing off. Hope you have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon.